There is no denying that hockey is a brutal game, with incidents of aggressive behavior making the news every now and then. Today, we will go back in time to some of the most brutal hits in NHL history, moments that will live on in the collective memory of hockey fans. Are you aware of the most famous rivalries in NHL history? While it can be difficult to determine whether the hits were accidental or deliberate, one thing is certain. These are the most bloody moments in the game's history. Picture this, the raw energy buzzing around as the players throw themselves into the game, and then bam, that bone-crushing hit happens, and the whole crowd loses it. Those moments, they're not just forgotten, they're forever etched into the epic story of hockey. So, here's the countdown as we unpack the core details and the stories behind the most unforgettable hits ever witnessed on that icy battleground. Each collision has its own tale to tell, carrying a weight and resonance that echo through the history of the sport. This isn't just about hits. It's about the heart-pounding, pulse-racing moments that define hockey. So, grab a seat, and let's chat about the bone crushers that have left us all breathless and itching for more. Scott Stevens on Eric Lindros, 2000 Eastern Conference Final. All right, let's rewind to the wild ride that was the 2000 Eastern Conference Final in the NHL. Scott Stevens, a defenseman for the New Jersey Devils, is now a living legend in hockey history. It is Game 7, and everyone is focused on the ice. So, here's the scoop. Philadelphia Flyers captain Eric Lindros is cruising down the rink, puck in tow, thinking he's got it all figured out. But then, bam! Stevens unleashes a hit so brutal it writes its own chapter in the hockey lore. Lindros goes down, sprawled and out cold on the ice. Now, here's where it gets real. Lindros' concussion from that hit, it's not just a game changer, it's a career changer. Suddenly, everyone's talking about the serious business of concussions in professional sports. It's not just a hit, it's a wake-up call, shaking the hockey world and making us all think twice about the toll these intense collisions take on the players. And you know what? The echoes of that hit, they're still bouncing around today, keeping us mindful of the lasting effects of head injuries in the rough and tumble world of pro hockey. Brian Campbell on R.J. Umberger, 2006 NHL playoffs. All right, let's rewind the clock to the 2006 NHL playoffs. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinals. Buffalo Sabres defenseman Brian Campbell steps up to the plate, and boy, does he deliver. So there's R.J. Umberger doing his magic on the ice, and out of nowhere, bam! Campbell hits him with this seismic open ice smackdown that echoes through the arena. Umberger, he's left flat out motionless, and you can almost feel the shockwaves reverberating through the whole series. Now, here's the real kicker. That hit, it's not just a body slam, it's a statement. A statement that playoff hockey isn't just about scoring goals. It's about these perfectly timed, bone-crushing hits that shift the whole momentum of the game. Campbell's move isn't just a display of physical intensity. It's a strategic play that sets the tone for the entire series, showing us the chess game within the chaos of playoff hockey. Scott Stevens on Paul Kariya, 2003 Stanley Cup Final. Okay, let us get into the 2003 Stanley Cup Final, Game 6. We've got the legendary Scott Stevens back in action, and boy, did he make some waves. So there's Paul Kariya, the captain of the Anaheim Ducks, on the ice. And out of the blue, Stevens pulls off this notorious move, an elbow-to-head hit that leaves Kariya in a bit of a momentary daze. It's intense, no doubt about it. But here's where the story takes a turn. Despite taking that hit, Kariya doesn't just call it quits. Nope, he bounces back. And get this, he scores a crucial goal. Talk about an indomitable spirit, right? It's like a Hollywood comeback moment happening on the ice. This incident isn't just another hit. It's a game changer in how we see player safety and headshots in the league. It opens up a whole discussion about the fine line between the rough and tumble physicality of the game and the well-being of the athletes hustling for that victory. It's a moment that leaves us pondering the delicate dance between the grit of the sport and the health of the players. Dion Phaneuf on Kyle Okposo, 2010 regular season. Let's flash back to the 2010 regular season. It's a defining moment, and Dion Phaneuf is about to leave his mark in a big way. So, there's Kyle Okposo from the New York Islanders, probably thinking he's got a smooth run ahead. But then, out of nowhere, boom! Phaneuf hits him with this colossal shoulder check that you can practically feel through the screen. It's clean, it's hard, and it's the kind of move that makes you sit up and take notice. Now, what makes this hit more than just a highlight reel moment? It's all about Phaneuf's knack for altering the game's whole vibe with one impactful play. It's not just about the immediate impact, it's about changing the flow of the entire game with a single move. That hit, it's like a microcosm of Phaneuf's style, consistently showing up among the NHL's hit leaders and embodying the kind of physical play that's become his signature on the ice. Niklas Kronwall on Martin Havlat, 2009 Western Conference Final. It is time to travel back in time to the third game of the 2009 Western Conference Final. Niklas Kronwall from the Detroit Red Wings is about to pull off something that's going to be talked about for ages. So here's the scene. Martin Havlat is on the ice thinking he's got the moves. But then, out of nowhere, Kronwall hits him with this move that's now infamous, the Kronwalling technique. It's not just a hit, it's like a signature move, you know? And the precision and power in that hit catch Havlat completely off guard. And get this, the hit is so iconic that it actually coins a term, getting Kronwalled. It's like a badge of honor for anyone who's been on the wrong end of one of Kronwall's hits. But what really makes this hit special? It's not just about the force, it's about the brains behind it. It's Kronwall strategically pulling off a well-timed body check that messes with the opponent's game plan. It's like he's playing chess on the ice, disrupting everything and steering the course of a make-or-break playoff series. That's the kind of brilliance that's etched in the history books. Mike Richards on David Booth, 2009 regular season. Okay, let's rewind to the 2009 regular season. And there's a buzz about a game where Mike Richards, the captain of the Philadelphia Flyers, stirs up quite a storm. So Richards pulls off this open ice hit on David Booth from the Florida Panthers. It's a shoulder-to-head hit that's so intense it leaves Booth knocked out cold. The whole incident kicks off a heated debate about player safety, especially when it comes to headshots. Now, what's wild is that this hit doesn't just stay on the ice. It triggers some serious changes. The league starts talking rule adjustments, all aimed at putting the brakes on dangerous head contact in the NHL. It's like this one hit becomes a catalyst, shaking up the entire conversation about player safety in the fast-paced and rough world of pro hockey. Suddenly, everyone's in on these broader discussions, realizing that maybe it's time for some proactive measures to make sure the game stays thrilling but also safe for the players giving it their all. It's a moment that reminds us how the game is always evolving, and sometimes it takes a hit like Richards on Booth to make everyone step back and rethink things. Zdeno Chara on Max Pacioretty, 2011, regular season. Let us take a trip down memory lane and return to the 2011 regular season. Now, there's this moment that's etched in everyone's memory. Zdeno Chara, the towering Boston Bruins defenseman, collides with Max Pacioretty from the Montreal Canadiens, and oh boy, it's one for the history books. So here's the scoop. Chara's hit leaves Pacioretty with a fractured vertebra and a nasty concussion. It's a game changer, not just for the players involved, but for the entire league. This hit doesn't just spark a rivalry. It's like throwing gasoline on a fire. Suddenly, everyone's got their eyes on player safety in the NHL. These hits, they're not just about the physicality, though let's be real, that's a big part of it. They're like a testament to the sheer force you find in the heart of the sport. But it's more than that. These hits kickstart these ongoing talks about player safety and the whole debate about how much body checking should be part of the game. Think about it. From the legendary clash between Scott Stevens and Eric Lindros to Zdeno Chara's eyebrow-raising hit on Max Pacioretty, these moments are like chapters in a book that's going to keep getting passed down through the generations. They shape the whole story of hockey, making us rethink the collision of skill, strategy, and raw power on the ice. It's not just a game, it's a saga, and these hits, they're the unforgettable plot twists that keep us coming back for more. That's our full scoop on the most brutal hits in NHL history. In the comments section below, let us know if we missed any classic hits. Stay tuned for more exciting videos in the world of sports.